Hello,
Good morning, Rinpoche.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, Rinpoche.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, greetings to everyone. Um, we shall now start the teaching the conversation on patience. Yeah, refuge, please. 好，现在mandala please. 在心表意，照见面目，大美日拉曼爱是念的爱言拜的。三界心度明的瑞我在个那么爱心上，全部来说。Ida mangoro rana mera langam ni andaya emi. Yeah, and so the topic to be discussed is we have been covering patience last week. So patience has been separated into three parts: patience when wronged, patience to bear hardships for the Dharma, and patience to face the profound truth without fear. So this week is the second aspect of the second portion of the patience, which is patience to hear, patience to bear, patience to endure hardship in order to practice, in order to receive and practice the Dharma. Okay, so today we will begin from patience to bear hardship for the Dharma. So if you are following if you have the book in English, it's 242, page number is 242, and the first paragraph of that page, 242 in English. So here, the outline is that the patience to bear hardship for the Dharma is for the sake of practicing Dharma, you should be able to, or you should ignore heat, cold, and other difficulties. And the Tantra, the Vajrayana teachings by the Buddha itself says that even though flaming infernos or seas of razor-sharp blades, even through flaming infernos or seas of razor-sharp blades, look for the Dharma until you die, whatever difficulty it may be. There are two extremes, right? The extreme of cold and extreme of heat. The most the hottest of the hottest is the inflaming infernal hell. So whether it's the infernal hells or whether it's the razor sharp blade actually is a reference to the cold hell, in the cold hell realm. So when it's so cold, it's extremely cold. I mean, when you sometimes even in cold places when we go out, we feel that we say chills to the bones. So we feel like if it's cutting through our bones or our flesh. So whether it's the infernal hells or whether it's the coldest of the coldest hell, no matter how much of extreme you are facing, you still need to go look for the Dharma. Now, this is a very popular practice. That is a citation that is made by the Kadambas, which is very popular in everyone's lips. Everyone who supposed to be Dharma practitioner, we used to recite this. So, and this is something very important. This line, the 4 lines that we're going to recite after this. If you just pay lip service to this line, then that's about it. It's just some sort of a poem. But then, if you think about it more deeply, then this will have a very, very strong impact in your life, especially if you want to practice Dharma. That's very, very strong. Yeah. So the line is. So the line that is being practiced by the Kadamba masters is that base your mind on the Dharma, and base your Dharma. So it's base your mind on the Dharma, base your Dharma on a humble life, base your humble life on the thought of death, and base your death on an empty, barren hollow. So the English translation here says humble life. Actually, the Tibetan, it's actually base your Dharma on a beggar's life. That's the actual term. Here it's a little bit like softened to say humble life. So base the Dharma. So first of all, it's more intimate when you say base your mind instead of base the mind. So when you say base the mind, then it's kind of up there in the air. But when you say base your mind, then you are referring to your own mind. Base your Dharma, base your humble life, base your death, so on and so forth. It makes very personal. So in English, it's been translated as the word your was used instead of the. Anyway, so it has to be very personal. Dharma practice has to be very personal. It's not something that it doesn't have to be. If you think of it in a very abstract, profound, philosophical view, then it's just out there. It's something beautiful out there to be admired, to be spectated, not to be experienced. So when you make it personal, then only then will it start to make an impact in your life. So basically, base your mind on the Dharma. Base your Dharma on the beggar's life, and base your beggar's life on the thought of death, and base your death on an empty, barren hollow. So this is something that the Kadamba masters always say day in and day out. So the first line, base your mind on the Dharma, basically means your life should be lived for the Dharma. What we usually do nowadays, all of us, including myself, what we do is we practice Dharma for the worldly life. We are not living the worldly life for the practice of Dharma. So in order to practice the Dharma, we eat. In order to practice the Dharma, we sleep. In order to practice the Dharma, we take a rest. In order to be able to practice the Dharma, we should be doing all the worldly things. But instead, what we are doing is the opposite. In order to have a better life, that's what we say, right? Have a good life, have a comfortable life, have a happy life, have a long life, and then have a good marriage, have a good relationship, have good money, this and that. For that reason, I pray to the Buddha, I pray to the Dharma, I pray to the Sangha. So basically, what we are doing is exactly opposite of what the intentions of our masters were, our teachers were. So instead of living our life for the Dharma, we are practicing Dharma for the worldly life. So the first one is to do the opposite. Instead of basing Dharma on instead of practicing Dharma for your worldly purposes, you should practice. You should live your life in order to practice the Dharma. That is the first one. Base your mind on Dharma. So I'm not going to tell like why you should practice Dharma. Okay, this is we have been telling all the time. So how you're going to base your mind on the Dharma, how you're going to base your life for the Dharma, how you're going to dedicate your life for the Dharma. So what is the method? How to do that? So the method what comes in the second line, which is base your Dharma on a humble life. So in order to practice the Dharma, in order to properly practice the Dharma, what you have to do is you have to um, be, you have to, and you have to be able to give your, in order to practice the Dharma, you should be able to live your life as a beggar. Basically, beggar, a homeless person, basically has nothing that they can claim to as their own. So basically, in order to practice Dharma, in order to be able to live your life for the Dharma, the method is to give up everything. The method is to let go of everything, and then be attached to nothing. Live the life of a beggar. So then the so to prepare, basically what this means is prepare your mind to let go of everything. So basically think like this, that right now, all the things that you love, care, hold so much dear to, just think that you have none of that. You know, in think that you have none of that. Not let alone your wealth, your house, your property, all this. Just even think of like your own identity is no more there. Yeah. So usually homeless persons are kind of known, regarded as unknown person. People like unidentified. People don't care whether they die, this and that. Just they're unrecognizable. So think of yourself as someone unrecognizable. Think of yourself as someone unidentifiable. Just let alone your like material needs and this and that, material property, money, bank account, this and that. Not even your identity, your name. That is something of value. Think like even that is not there. Uh, and if possible, think like even that is gone. So you have none of that. So then your life becomes truly humble. Yeah. Then so basically, in order to practice the Dharma, the method is to let go of everything. So the second now the method for the second one. So how can you the method for the first one is to live a humble life. So the how to live a humble life now, in order to let go of everything, in order to not to be attached to anything, not to be attached to anything. How you do that? Because everything is so pleasant, so good in life. Um, so how you get unattached, how you detach from everything. That is to focus on death, to think of death as, to think of life as death in process. So when you think of life as something, normally we think we are living. In a way of looking, we are living. But at the same time as we are living, we are dying as well. So usually the best example, best analogy is that of a clock, watch, a time. So, for example, when it's when the watch is turning from 8 to 9, so every second the minute hand is turning from 8 to 9. Every second, 8 o'clock is deconstructing. 8 o'clock is deconstructing, and 8 o'clock is dying. We usually say that it's 8. But I think in English it's quite simple to understand when you say like 10 past 8, 3 past 8, 30 past 8, like that. So when you mention that, what you're actually saying past, that means it's already gone. Um, 5 minutes past 8, 10 minutes past 8. When you say that, the time is already gone. So as you live, you die. You die. You're not dead yet, of course, but the process, as you live, you die. And so life is basically a process of dying. Once you face that, then death does not become as fearful, as scary as it sounds. Normally, we think of death as something that comes to our door, to knock at our door at the very end, right? We never feel like we are dying, and but the thing is, every moment as we speak, we are getting closer to death. So if you look at it another way, from a philosophical point of view, if you go more philosophical, uh, every minute that we spend, every moment that we spend is like is spent um, going towards death. Think of yourself. Think of when we go for a vacation or some fun destination. Every moment from the packing to getting to the airport to everything, there's so much anticipation. So basically, everything that we are anticipating, everything that we are living and making jolly and merry and all this thing, it's all in anticipation of death. So if you face death, that isn't that ugly. But if you push death away, then death becomes so scary. The more it's like a deadline. So the more you push your deadline, it becomes scarier and more monstrous. So like that. So basically, in order to live a humble life, in order to live the life of the beggar's life, as you say in the book here, which is basically to let go of everything. How you let go of everything? If you know that your destination is death, that the whole journey is going towards death, uh, then you will know that then you will learn, if not right away, but slowly, that there is nothing to getting attached to. Then you will be able to let go of things, start to let go of things. Then the last line is base your death on an empty, barren hollow. So what the Kadamba masters used to do is when they're about to die, when they're about to pass away, they're masters and they're very highly revered. So many students and very influential on so and so like that. But when they're about to die, they just disappear. They go to the most remote place they could find. And basically uh, die somewhere unknown, unidentifiable, like that. So the empty, barren hollow is look for. This is just just a metaphor, but like look for an empty, barren in a barren land. Look for an empty trunk, a hollow trunk, and then go inside that trunk and just die there, so that no one will find you and your carcass, your corpse will be devoured by insects and the birds, etc. And no one's gonna find you. No one's gonna know, who you were. So basically, you become totally insignificant. Uh, so, so this is the method for achieving the third line, basing your life on death. So how you do that? Because death is, as we talk about right now, a little earlier, death is so fearful because there are so many things that we are attached to in our life. So when we let go of things, when we have no attachment, then death becomes something more, more faceable. You can face death more easily. At the same time, so facing, letting go of things, letting no attachment, that we actually explained in the second line. So, but another thing is that even though we can let go of life itself, we can face death by letting go of life itself. But what about after death? What will happen? Even if you don't believe in people, there are many who don't believe in reincarnation and rebirth like that. Even if you don't believe in so on and so forth, people still do a lot to live a good legacy. So you want, at the very least, You want your name. People, you die, you're no more there, but you want people to say good things about you, which is again an attachment. You're no longer attachment to the physical, material things in this world, physical things of this world, but you are attached to the non-physical or more of a sort of a metaphysical thing, which is your identity, your name, your title, your legacy. So if you strive to become insignificant, and insignificant in the sense of not being identifiable, no fame, nothing. If you seek that, then death will be easier to face. Because a lot of time we are so afraid of our death, because whether my children will come to look after me, when will they come to offer flowers to my graveyard, whether my friends will remember me or not, whether they will say bad things about me, good things about me, how long will they going to remember me? Are they going to do the 49 days properly? Are they going to offer butter lamps for me, and so on and so forth? So even after death, you're not dead, right? So you are it's kind of funny, but like you're living, you are being undead. You're living, you are undead even after death. Your mind is still going on. You are still attached to things. Yeah. So when you base your when you base your life on death, and your death on uh, the uh, empty, barren, hollow, which means to be insignificant, to be unknown, to be forgotten. If you are ready to be forgotten, uh, then you will be able to let go of everything. There are so many things that we are easy to let go of in life, but when it comes to death, we are so afraid because of our legacy. So if we are let if we prepare ourselves to let go of our identity, at the end of the day, what is an identity? What is a legacy? So if you think like that, then your death will you will be able to face your death. You'll be able to face your death. You'll be able to embrace your death more easily. Yeah. So that is the last line. Base your death on an empty, barren hollow. Basically, it's saying, be ready to become totally insignificant. Yeah. So as it is the topic of today's this session, facing difficulties, how to face difficulties while practicing the Dharma. So it is important to know that in order to practice Dharma properly, there will be so many challenges that will come in your way. And the thing is, this is the thing. When the challenges come, the challenges are not gonna come with a disclaimer or come with a warning saying, okay, this is your this is your trial, this is your test for how to practice patience. When it comes without any knocking, without any warning, just comes and like baffles you, just comes and knocks you out. And that is when you have to realize, okay, this is a test, and then you have to get up and face the challenge, face the difficulty, and go on. Because if it comes with a warning, then it does not serve the purpose. So it will not come with a warning. When any challenges that you face while practicing Dharma, for that matter, any challenges that come in your life will not come with any warning. Uh, so the Kharati. Pedro Rinpoche is saying that nowadays many people think that they can practice the Dharma and the worldly life, the pleasures of worldly life and the difficulty of the challenges of the dharmic world, Dharma life can be um, uh, can be engaged together. We can practice the Dharma in a very pleasant, very just light the lamps, put up the incense, maybe do some singing bowl, have some very nice, pleasant picture of the Buddha, and look at them, feel very good. So feeling good is not necessarily Dharma practice. So Dharma practice, Dharma means truth. Dharma has many connotations, but one of the meaning of Dharma is to truth. And in order to face the truth, you have to be able to face your inner demons, which is actually tormenting you. Uh, when you think of all the nice things, the pleasant sound, the pleasant figures, and the figurines, and all these nice things, you're actually ignoring or neglecting the thing that is actually really tormenting you. So it's like taking it's like your house is on fire, but instead of dousing the fire with water, you go to the when your house is on fire, you just book a hotel online and rush there. So yeah, the hotel that you are staying, the guest house that you are staying is very pleasant, everything, but that doesn't solve the real problem, which is your house being burning in fire. Mm. So like that, Dharma practice is to face the truth,
Yeah.
the harsh truth. Pedro Rinpoche reminds us that there's no way we can practice the Dharma in the most pleasant and comfortable way, and so as we think, because for us, the greatest teacher, the greatest master is the Buddha Shakyamuni, and Buddha Shakyamuni himself, he has to let go of everything, the worldly, the pleasures, his wife, his palace, his family, this and that, everything in order to the Dharma. If something, if a pleasant life and Dharma can be done, can be practiced, can be engaged in hand, the Shakyamuni, Siddhartha Gautama done it for sure, but even he couldn't do it. That means that is not the right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
live a pleasant life all together, hand in hand together. Then you are most likely being a very good. Um, you're if there is someone who claims to be a very good practitioner and a very good um, who has a very good life in at the same time, then it's most likely that person is having a very good worldly life and not a real practitioner. That's what Pedro Rinpoche says. So, as Pedro Rinpoche reminds us constantly, there's if you look for everything to settle down, everything to become perfect, pleasant, pleasant, and then we will start the Dharma practice. Then it's not going to work. We have to practice Dharma right away, right now. There is no better time than right now when everything is not working well. That is the best time to practice. If you wait until when everything settles down and everything becomes perfect, then that time will never come, and your practice will never come into fruition. When do we repair our cars? When it's broken down. When we go to hospital, when we are sick. When do we repaint our house? When the paints are coming off. Like that, when everything is not going well, when things are breaking down, that is the perfect time to practice Dharma. There's a there's a popular Zen story of a yogi saying, "Don't get a cat." Have you heard of the story? Anyone heard of the story before?
Not yet lah, Rinpoche lah.
Not yet. So the story, yeah. Uh, the this is the thing. There was a person who is kind of somewhat into like kind of fed up with the worldly life, and then he went into meditation in the caves. In the remote place, he went into meditation, remote place. As he was meditating, he was always disturbed by mice, rats, and then every day rats come and sometimes destroys his food, this and that. He's really disturbed by that. So in order to get rid of the mice, get rid of the mice problem, he got one cat. He found a cat to take care of the rat. So when he has the cat, in order to take care of the cat, the cat needs to be fed milk. Sometimes the rat come and she takes care of the rats, but often she needs to be taken care with milk. So he cannot go to the market to buy milk at all times. So what he did was he got a cow to take care of the to take care of the milk for the cat. And then when he got the cow cannot just graze anyone's the grass. So he bought a piece of land so that the cow can, eat grass and just live happily, so on and so forth like that. And then this is too much for his meditation. He has to take care of the cat, take care of the cow, all sort of things. Then he thought, okay, maybe he roam around. He found that there's a lot of in the villages, there are young the wives and the young girls who's tending after the cows. So he thought, okay, maybe I should get a wife so that I can make her work, get work. I can make her milk the cow, feed the mice, feed the cat, so on and so forth. Basically, she will take care of everything for the cow problem. And he got married to a girl, and then he became his wife, and he seemed to enjoy the life because now everything's being taken care of the wife, and slowly the relationship problems start to come up. and then and then and then and then she starts to get pregnant. He has a son, and he now has to take care of the son, and so on and so forth. And then the problem actually expands, become bigger and bigger. And then the very, very long story after that, he maybe like 30, 40, 50 years later, he was able to, at first he went through the meditation when he was just like a 20 something. Then he got trapped in this worldly life for 30, 40 years. And then after that, when he was able to escape or come out of all of that, when his son become uh, old enough to go and everything. So when he went back to the meditation cave, and he became a great meditator afterwards, and then people start to come to him for instructions like, what is the best way to become a good yogi, this and that. And he tells them, don't get a cat. Of course, there's nothing wrong with cat. I love cat myself, but it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for the fact that there is no end to material wants, material desire. There's not no more, no matter how much you have, there's nothing is enough for you. Now, also Rinzin Jime Ningba, the great master, Ningma master, he reminds us. So this is on the other page, page 243, that by the time you have set yourself up with a comfortable place to stay, plenty of food, warm clothes, and a generous benefactor, a sponsor, you have completely cultivated the demon before even starting to cultivate the Dharma. Yeah. Then also the Kadamba master, Geshe Shaoba, he says, to practice Dharma with sincerity, your ambitions in life should be poverty. Now remember what we just did with the Kadamba, like base your mind on the Dharma on life, humble life on death, death on the barren hollow. So Geshe Shaoba, who is also a Kadamba master, he says, to practice the Dharma with sincerity, your ambition in life should be poverty. At the end of life, at the end of a life of poverty, you should be able to deal with your death. If you have this attitude, you can be sure that no God, no demon, or no human being will be able to take away your happiness, make your life difficulties, make your life more difficult. If you go to the very bottom, then there is no place where people can push you and make you fall further. So the thing is to base your what do you call it? Base your foot on the most um, base your foot on a very firm ground of humility, of humbleness, of poverty. Then there is nothing that comes to your life can disturb your practice, disturb your life, take away your peace of mind and happiness. So, Jesu Milarepa, who's the after becoming enlightened, he always sings songs, spiritual ballads, spiritual songs, which is very pleasant to hear. But at the same time, the meaning behind the lyrics is very profound. Always reminding us to practice. Yeah. So he says, so he has this song for what a yogi should be wishing for. So the song goes like this. It's on the same page. No one to ask me if I'm sick. No one to mourn me when I die. To die here alone in this hermitage is everything a yogi could wish for. No trace of feet outside my door. Basically, no one to visit me to ask whether I'm good, okay, or not okay, like that. No trace of blood within. To die here alone in this hermitage is everything a yogi could wish for.
Yeah.
No one to wonder where I have gone. No one to ask me, asking about me, where about. No particular place to go, just to wander. To die here alone in this hermitage is everything a yogi could wish for. The last line, my corpse can rot and be eaten by worms. My gristle and bone be sucked dry by flies. To die here alone in this hermitage is everything a yogi could wish for. So basically, this is the to to have such an attitude, to have such an understanding is pivotal. It's most important thing in order to have a productive Dharma practice. Yep. Thank you so much. Today's session is over. Now we will start. We'll pick up from the Q&A. Pick up the Q&A. Then the first question is how to basically how to eliminate distractions when we practice Dharma. Okay. So the distractions, how to eliminate the distraction while we practice Dharma.
Yeah.
So the distractions will always be there. There is nothing you can do about the distractions. It's all about how you can get yourself not distracted by the distractions. That is the idea, right? And in order to do that, the best thing is to think of death, because death is death is like, death is like a deadline. When you have death, when you think of death, then you know that you don't have time. So there is a popular quote attributed to the Buddha that says, the trouble is that we think we have time. Basically, we don't have time. Our time, the time that we have in this world is too short. If you just divide it, like, okay, we do our work, we eat, we drink, we sleep, we have to communicate with people, this and that. Majority of our time, 80% of our time is used to do worldly things. We're not doing Dharma practice. We're not dedicating ourselves to Dharma practice that much. So the thing is to dedicate our time more for the Dharma. In order to do that, we have to realize that we don't have time. That death is inevitable. The death is inevitable. So when we think of death, that's why in most of the yogis place you will find some skeleton, a skeleton or a picture of a skeleton, which is to remind us of the death. So like that. So not to be distracted by the distractions, not to give into distraction, you have to think of death. So then you can focus better on your Dharma practice. Okay, so the next question is, how should we practice when everything is falling apart? We are facing the worst of our demons, and we are scared and confused by the experience. So first of all, when you are aware that everything is falling apart, when you are aware that you are facing your demons and so on and so forth, basically when you are aware that you are going through so much turmoil, actually you are, when you come into realization that this is that there is so much turmoil going on, so much trouble going on, you actually have somewhat, if not all, you have somehow come out of that that problem, that thing. You can see the mountain only when you are outside of the mountain. If you are on the mountain, you cannot see the mountain. If you are, when you come out of the mountain, then you can see how big the mountain is. Mm. When you are inside the house, you don't see how the house is. When you come out of the house, then you see how big this is. Like that. First of all, that is the thing. Now that how to face the question is, how do we move forward? Two ways. The first thing, because you are able to come this far, that means you have the strength to go forward as well. And so you must not lose your hope. No, you must not lose your determination. The fact that you could come this far means that you can go further as well. First thing. Second thing is that all these things that you go through did not come out of nowhere, did not fall from the sky. It's all part of the karmic debt, all the negativity. That means whatever negativity, whatever unpleasant thing that you have gone through, actually has devoured your negative karma, has actually exhausted your negative karma to the point of how much you have suffered. So if you suffer 20%, 20% of your karmic debts are gone. If you suffer 80%, 80% of your karmic debts are gone. The more you suffer, the more of your karmic debts are cleared. So in certain, I'm not going to recommend or as because I don't know you personally, I'm not recommend anything. But in generally, in the bodhisattva practice, there's the practice of asking for more suffering, because we have, the more we suffer, the more of our negativities are purified. Because at the end of the day, positive outcomes, the pleasant things in life are part of our positive, a product of our positive karma, the merits, and the suffering that we could go through is the product of our negative karma. So when you enjoy something good, it's because you have earned it. When you suffer something bad, it is because you were responsible. Your previous life, yourself in the previous avatar is responsible for making you go through this. So by going through such and such suffering, your negativities were exhausted. So there's something to look forward. So the more hardship you endure, the less hardship you will be enduring in the future, like that.
Yeah.
So okay, so what kind of practice what you do? So first thing is to practice the one very popular practice, one very simple, not simple, but like one thing that comes to my mind is to practice compassion for yourself, compassion for what your previous avatar or what you have done in your past, the past you, because of whatever negativity that they have done, it makes you suffer like that. So feel compassion for them, feel compassion for yourself, and learn to lift yourself up, and look forward to in the pursuit of nirvana, like that. So there were two direct questions sent directly to me. So the first one is how to okay, my fear is that I will be separated from the Dharma in my next life. And this is I'm very scared of that. And so how to deal with that, and also being wanting to not to be separated from the Dharma. Is that an attachment or not? So it could be depending. So we will not go into the deeply into the definition of attachment today, but it may or it could be attachment. But even if it's attachment, it's not necessarily a bad thing. For example, in order to feel better, in order to get better, in order to get better, in order to recover, you may need to take injections. And when you take injections, you hurt yourself. You let the needle enter pierce through your flesh, your skin, and rupture your nerves and all that. But still, by taking the injection, you'll heal like that. Some attachments um, can be, okay, if you can utilize properly, then attachment can be utilized for a better purpose like that. So that is that. So even if it may be attachment, it's not necessarily something that you should let go. Okay. The second thing is how to not be separated from the Dharma. You must always make wishes that I may never be separate from the Dharma, and always habituate yourself. Make yourself regularly visit the temples, regularly open Dharma books, regularly listen to teaching. Basically, make yourself very habituated with the Dharmic world, Dharma world, Dharma, the world of Dharma. That will actually leave a very strong imprint, and then you will never be separated from the Dharma. Yeah. So the last question, as we all know, we have a very young but very smart and talented gentleman in the audience as well. So he's asking the question, what is the purpose of death? Huh? So you can think of death in 3 R's, okay? Rest, reset, and restart. So if you have to go a very, very far, long journey, what you can do is you have to take many rest. Okay. So take a break, take a rest, take a pause. That is what death is. So our journey is very long, maybe never ending, and we cannot go that far, that long in one stretch. So we need to take the rest. And also when we rest, if you are driving somewhere, you can check you can check your tires, you can check your fuel, the gas, the petrol. Maybe you need to put some more gas. Maybe you need to check. Maybe you need to reset the tire, that, the mirror, whatever. So that is a reset. And whatever has been broken down, whatever has to be repaired, just repair them, restart. So basically, the purpose of that is to rest, to reset, and to restart. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much once again for all of you, for your patience to listen to me for this 1.5 hour.
Yeah.
And yeah, really appreciate for tuning in and paying attention to the Dharma. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do the dedication now. Hmm. 迎接我第一牛多大喇嘛三界这就。罗吉祥马略巴耶耶萨拉格巴来说，长久深久的莫马耶巴那马耶有的是耶巴娘巴没巴拉要我呢光别我说。Rồi ye rồi ngài mà lỗi sai trái bế sai lại soi hoài đề lỗi sai trái bế sai lại soi hoài đề Ni bo zhen ben ben la xin la ma do ju gen la zhan zhu lam san che ye jam zhe zhe ge do zhen ge do den dam ma se wang de. Yeah, dedication in Vietnamese, yeah.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche La. Thank you so much for
Yes.
excellent teaching La.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Hong. And thank you,
Yeah, thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Cảm ơn tất cả quý vị đạo
Have
hữu
a
ạ.
great weekend. Take care.